this episode of GameChangers. So here we capture success from different perspectives. We delve into the minds of people with celebrated brands and careers who've turned their dreams into reality and their ideas into lucrative empires. I'm your host, Sheyi Banigbe, and when I return, we'll dive right in. See you when I get back. Welcome back to the show, and you're about to meet our first game changer. IK Osakioduwa is one of Africa's leading television and radio personalities. He's an exceptional master of ceremonies with unmatched wit and intelligence, combined with an impeccable sense of humor. IK carved a really unique niche in broadcasting by working on radio for about 2 decades, while hosting some of the biggest shows to ever come out of Africa. We have a television and radio icon with us here today, and I'm so excited to welcome to the show, IK Osakioduwa.
It's so good to be here. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I'm excited. I feel like I'm sitting with my mentor.
Stop
like
it.
It's going to be a Sheyi, you need to do this. I feel like I'm going to be learning so much.
One of the things you need to change about the show is when people come in, you should just give them like $1 million to make them relaxed.
Okay.
It's a good way to start the show.
That is spot on. And in fact, your money bag will be waiting right after the show.
Sure.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's what they call a wash.
Yeah, but thank you so much for coming. I'm so grateful and I'm honored. Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
So we'll dive right in. Reading up on you was quite exciting. You've had your downs, ups, everything, like any great person and leader would have had. Growing up, I see that you traveled a lot because your dad was in the army. Did that do anything or form you into the person you are, the witty, smart, intelligent person, vast person you are today?
It certainly had a role to play in it. When you travel so often, it's not just that you're traveling, it's that your life is changing because you're going to new schools, you're meeting new people, you're losing old friends, and you're constantly the new kid in the school. So you're on the outside of every conversation. So you have to find quick ways to make friends, quick ways to get in the circle, quick ways to, just not be left out of everything. So I learned to make friends very quickly. I learned to move on from problems very quickly. I don't hold on to drama for long because I could be your friend today. Tomorrow my dad comes back, I've been transferred. I'm like, oh, I'm moving again. So you learn to move on from stuff. You learn to make friends quickly.
Yeah, so
you learn to socialize and accept people for who they are.
How do we achieve that today? You're not in the army, I'm not in the army. I want our kids to be, as grounded.
Yeah, you should throw them out into different... That must have crossed your
mind.
Yeah, so what I do with my kids is I throw them into different scenarios. Like when we travel, we don't just go and then shopping and outings and movies and all that stuff. I'll throw them in the school while we're there, or in a camp. Different things. We go to places, I'm like, don't sit with me, go make friends, force them to socialize and to integrate and to meet people of different walks of life, rich, poor, everything.
Yeah, amazing. So, looking at you today, I can't believe you actually studied economics. Like, if someone had asked, theater arts,
I don't look like an economist?
Yeah, well, you don't sound like one. So did you go in because that's what they gave me? Or you, in your mind, at some point, you actually thought, I'll be a finance guru? Like,
no, I'll be honest with you. I'm not one of those people who was focused on his books from a young age. Like, my son kind of has an idea of what he wants to study, and he's in primary school.
Oh, wow, okay.
My daughter has some direction as well. I had no idea. So when I did the SSC, I was just doing it, I did it, and then got admission into Unilag for estate management.
Okay.
I didn't know what I wanted to do, but I knew what I did not want to do.
Okay.
And I remember seeing all those estate management students working out with all their surveying equipment. I was like, this is not my life, this is not what God has planned for me. So I started thinking about what to do. I changed course to sociology. I thought that might be better. I hated it. It hated me, So eventually I changed to the closest thing, which ended up being economics. And I just thought, okay, well, you know what, this course, I could use it in any business.
Yeah.
You know, but it wasn't like I woke up thinking, I'm just dying to be an economist. I want to study economics. That's my dream. No, I just kind of ended up there. And it's been, I'm glad I did. It's helped me with business, but it wasn't like a plan.
Yeah, a plan. And, you know, it's interesting you say, you know, you didn't know what you wanted to do, you know, and you went into school. Because I find that quite common with people like you and I. That's when you talk, like, when you just know how to talk effortlessly. I find for so long in my life, people would ask me, you know, you go to church, you go to seminars and conferences. So your talent is what will lift you, what will make you rich.
Yeah.
And I'll see that as, you untalented child. What will become of you? For so long, I was convinced, because I can't do anything with my hands.
Yeah.
I don't know how to do a lot of things.
I can't even cook.
You can't even cook?
Not to save dying children. Like if there was a child here dying of hunger, I'd be like, like, and there's food and stuff. I can't cook anything.
Yeah, I find that, you know, those of us that talk, you know, we are quite handicapped in a lot of things. But so many people have gone through and are going through life having that gift of talk, not even realizing it's a gift, and not even then monetizing it.
Yeah.
At what point did it hit you? At what point did you know, realize this is something?
Okay, so I've always wanted to work on radio. You know, it was a dream, not for money, but just a dream, a random dream, because I thought, okay, you know, this would be fun, right? But it didn't strike me that I would make money doing radio. What happened was one day after, it was, I think, somewhere close to my final year in school, a friend of mine was getting married. Or no, I think I had graduated. And a friend of mine from King's College, my secondary school, was getting married, and he was like, oh, you have to come host my wedding. And I thought, look, this is ridiculous. Why would you want me to host your wedding? Get a real MC, a professional. And he begged me. He said, look, I'll pay you 15,000 naira. Don't judge. That was a lot of money back in the day. Right. So I thought 15,000 naira, you pay me 15,000 naira. And I was like, guy, you must be crazy. And I was saying to him, look, why would you waste your money? Like, it's the kind of thing I would do for free anyway, but I wouldn't risk your wedding. You know, your wedding is too important a day. So I was saying to him, don't waste money on such a risk. So I was like, guy, you must be crazy. He was like, listen, okay, 25K, that's the best I can do. At which point, you know, my Nigerian mind just kicked in and I was like, bing. I was like, yeah, sure, okay, because it's you. Because it's you. And after him, another friend asked me to MC her wedding and paid 40,000 naira. And then I just thought, come on. This year is looking good, you know. Once I realized that people were willing to pay for that service, I realized, okay, look, there is money in this business. And I started to take it a lot more seriously. I
mean, I respect, you know, this story you just told, because there's so many of us that practically stumbled. Because that's what happened to you. You stumbled into it. So don't feel bad, you know, you're sitting there, you're thinking, what can I do? What's the strategy? Because when you hear some people talk, they have the 5-year strategy, 10-year, 20-year, and some of us just feel like, huh. But I'm happy with what you just said. So you spent 18 years of your life
on radio.
Yeah, on radio. And as from what you said, it wasn't it was kind of the plan. You wanted it. You weren't so bent on it, but it was a dream, you know, somewhere. With benefit of hindsight now, what would you have done differently when it comes to even, you know, the course you studied or the things you would have even been doing right from secondary school? You know, so there's someone watching and thinking, I want to be like IK, you know, in a few years. So what would you have adjusted or changed?
I'd have started earlier. I'd have started a lot earlier.
From uni or secondary
Everything,
school?
from university, from secondary school if possible. Just for me, secondary school was I wasn't an owner of my time. It was school, home, school, home. So I didn't have that advantage. But university, you know, you're taking yourself to school, you're coming back whenever you're done. Nobody's really monitoring the time that you come in because they expect that if you're coming home late, it's because you had school. I had my weekends to myself. I basically used them to play. If I thought about it earlier, I would have started the radio job from a lot earlier. I would have started emceeing for shows a lot earlier. I did do a lot of emceeing in school, thanks to university fellowships and stuff, where I was a worker. And I would host concerts and things for them. But I think I would do a lot more if I could go back. Do a lot more, even if it was for charity, just get my hands wet, you know, get my feet wet, get my hands, you know, my teeth cut on the in the process.
Yeah.
You know, and I'd have achieved, I think, a lot more by now.
Yeah, well, I agree. And I think this goes to, I think, what we emphasize a lot on the show, which is get these kids working as
Yeah.
early as possible. And
Yeah.
that's really what I hear you saying. So, IK, we'll be going on a break, but before we do that, you look good. And I know it's my boy, because I know you.
Talk to me. I like that.
Yeah, you look good. So, can you please, Your Highness, give us like just 2 tips
Bam.
on how to stay as, you know, savvy and, you know, well packaged, and but basically you look really
Coming from you, that's a huge compliment,
Oh,
because
yeah.
you haven't aged a day yourself.
Oh, thank you.
You're looking better than you did yesterday.
Thank
know,
you. So
and
tell us,
and the year before.
you don't eat amala. What do you
No,
do? What don't
I
you
don't
do?
really have those strict diet routines.
Okay.
I eat rubbish. I eat amala, I eat pounded jam, I eat chocolate. I take ice cream.
Okay.
But I run. I started working out. Okay, so what happened to me was my mid-30s, I realized one day I was watching TV and my shirt was doing this thing where, you know, when your stomach is pushing your shirt, so the buttons aren't straight anymore, they're opening and they can see. That was me, and I looked at it, I saw it on TV, I was like, Jesus, see my shirt, you know, like, and I decided I don't like that. So I decided to start working out, started running, started using the gym. And I decided if I want to eat rubbish, if I want to continue eating the things I eat and doing the things I do, then you have to work out, pay the price.
Amazing.
So.
And you have paid it. You look buff.
Well, thank you.
When we return, we'll still be speaking with IK. See you when I get back. Welcome back to the show, and we're still speaking with IK. Don't forget to join the conversation on our social media platforms at the BWG Show on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Hi! Why are you laughing?
It's just me like, hi.
Yeah, because I'm excited. Yeah.
I love it. It's great stuff.
Yeah, thank you. So, IK, let's talk serious issues now.
All right,
the
let's
reality of the Nigeria and Africa that we live in.
Let's go.
You know, we have so many talented people around, you know. I think Nigerians are extra talented. We're extra humorous. We're, you know, very... But the slots in this industry, you know, whether it's radio, TV, drama, it's quite limited.
Yeah. You know, first of all, the way you put that, my mind was like, she talking about hoes, you know? I was like the slots in this industry. I'm like, yeah, there's so many of them.
Stop it.
I'm sorry. Yeah. No, the spaces are limited. And I think it's the same way in every industry in the world, every media industry in the world. In Hollywood, we see it from here, like, oh, the streets are paved with gold, everything is easy. It's limited spaces available, you know? It's the nature of our industry. There can't be too many of them. But what that does is it helps weed out the people who are not serious, you know? The people who aren't willing to pay the price, aren't willing to do the necessary work. The fact that the spaces available are so small, it makes the people who don't have it drop out. So I'm not opposed to that.
But honestly, between you and I meet several people from day to day, you know, that are really good, you know, but they still don't get that, you know, recognition, the gigs. What, you know, in view of that and the reality of that, I mean, Nigeria is 200 million people.
Yeah.
Not even the good ones won't get, you know, eventually still make it. What would you suggest or advise someone that, you know, you've got it? I mean, when they're already telling you in your uni or already, oh, I'll pay for you to MC my wedding, you know you have it, you know. Well, how do you advise the person? Is it finish school, get a job? You know what? Be auditioning, but please get a job. Or would you say, you know, if you know you're that good, stay on the street, you eventually find it. What would be your sincere advice?
I have different angles to this thing because if I'm looking at the industry here and the industry abroad, I say it would be a bit foolhardy to tell anybody to look, just face only this. Don't try anything else. I've done advertising I did advertising for about 1.5 years.
Okay.
Right. And I've tried my hands on different things. I have a degree, a BSc in economics, so I have options. And those options have made it easier to negotiate deals in entertainment.
Yeah.
So I can say to somebody, this is how much I want for this job. If they say they're not going to pay, I can walk away and still go and get a job somewhere else. They knowing that I can walk away makes them understand that I have options, makes me a little bit more desirable to them.
Yes.
If they knew, if I didn't finish school, if I didn't have any experience, work experience anywhere, and I came for a job, then they know I'm desperate. So when I'm negotiating, they're never going to put their best offer on the table for me.
Yeah.
You know, so I always say, look, do school, finish school if you can. And also get work experience if you can. Don't limit yourself to the one option. You know, because all that experience, all that schooling will help you when you get into the game, when you get into what we do. I think part of what has made a difference in my life, on radio especially, was the fact that I always had options. Many of my colleagues who didn't finish school, look, the company will never say it to you, but where's your degree? When they're hiring you, you don't have one. So in their minds, why are the ones helping you?
Yeah.
You know, so they'll give you some offer, but it will never be their best offer.
And then, and then it's very comfortable for them to say, oh, so graduates earn this, non-graduates earn that.
Yeah.
And I think even in your industry, especially radio, I find that personalities that even have maybe like a business on the side or something, even society kind of reverse them in a different way. Or what
And
do you think?
I agree with that completely. And the entertainment is like sports, all right? You play for a while, you become noticeable, you're the Messi on the team, or you're the Ronaldo, whoever you prefer. You're the MVP, the most valuable player at a season in your life. After a while, you get old, you get older, right? And you're no longer as flexible, you're no longer as fine, you're no longer as fresh, you know. Some little boy with 6 packs has now shown up on the scene, and he's also talented, you know, like, what's that Brazilian fellow's name?
Who?
The Brazilian footballer.
Brazilian. I'm not the best to ask about football.
Neymar. So Neymar.
Okay.
So like Neymar comes in and he's all of a sudden a big deal. So the older guys, the Beckhams, can't be dragging with a Neymar. Yeah, your time may not have passed, but your season of being the MVP has. Now, what happens is people come in, oh, this is my hustle, and they only think about the now, being the guy in the limelight. When that season is done, what are you going to do with yourself? So I plan long term. So I'm happy to be in the limelight. I'm happy to be on TV. But there is going to come that day when I have to step aside for a newer, fresher, younger, finer IK to do his job.
Yeah.
Right? And rather than block him, I want to know that in that time when I have to step aside, I've set up some other forms of business for myself in management, in administration, in business outside, that I'm earning money and I don't need to be dragging with the new guy, you know?
Yeah.
So I think people should definitely finish school if you can. Get work experience if you can, so that when the time comes for you to transit from the show to business, showbiz, you are able to make that transition. Most people die in the transition. Once they lose the show, they lose the business, you know? So you want to be careful with that.
Very true. So tell me, presenting, comedy, emceeing, it's innate, right? Like you have it or you don't. What's your take?
I think
Can it be learned?
Some of it can be learned. There's one particular comedian I could reference. I would say he's not inherently funny. It's not something that comes naturally to him, but he plans, right? He plans, and he is one of the most effective with administration, and he makes a great deal of money. Yeah, I'm not going to call his name because now I know you guys are wondering. but I would say of the most successful comedians, he is maybe top 15, you know, in Nigeria today. Making money from different things, movies, you know, but if you put him funny for funny, I wouldn't rate him on the same level as the other guys. But he has more business understanding than most of them. So he makes a lot of money from his business acumen, from his marketing skills, from his organization of shows and stuff like that. And there's something to be learned from that.
Yeah, so what I hear you saying is if you really desire it and you plan, work extra hard, you know, put in everything, you can actually make it.
No, honestly, think about this. Abroad, not every hip-hop superstar or R&B superstar knows how to write a song.
Yeah.
Some people were literally experiments. They looked at them, they had a particular look, they had a particular style, and they thought, you know what, get someone to write a song. Can you sing? Okay, you can sing. Get someone to write him a song. Okay, and they styled him or her, and they made a superstar out of them. So it is possible to take on a persona, but it's always much better to be to be natural.
Yes,
Then you don't need to work as hard
As
to achieve
hard,
it.
yeah. So, in this day of social media, slay age,
Slay mamas.
as in, even though yes, you look fabulous, but I know you're not a slay papa. Yeah, we're not always seeing you every day.
I don't have time for it.
Yeah, obviously. But I mean, you're getting the gigs. You're doing a lot more, even beyond radio. Presenting. Like you keep blossoming.
Thank you.
What would you say are the other things that, would keep one relevant, even with the brands, with, every other, all the organizations without, doing everything on social You get it. Everything on social media.
I get you. And no disrespect to the slayage and the slay mamas out there, but I realized early on in my career that looking beautiful and being famous doesn't really put any money in anybody's account, right? So I decided rather than chase fame, chase fabulous, and chase the slaying, let me chase, the skill. Let me chase business. Let me chase structure. So I would say what has helped me, is understanding, relating with people, business, corporate relationships, and understanding how to satisfy a corporate client. What are they really looking for? Then also the benefit of teamwork, or the value of teamwork. Understanding that, you're the guy on the screen, all right? You're the guy in front of the camera. But to be that guy and to be effective, you have the girl who does your makeup. You have the guy who is behind the camera. You have the person directing. You have the people who are doing the marketing. You have the people who are running the show. And if you're not incorporating all of them and appreciating the work they do, eventually you're going to get messed up. One day your makeup person is going to do you one how makeup,
Or she won't just show.
Yeah, you understand what I'm saying? Or the guys doing the marketing are not going to put in the effort, and your show will eventually get canned. Or the people calling out your audience, all of it, everything comes together to make you who you are and to make you enjoy what you enjoy, So the benefit of teamwork and understanding the needs of a corporate client have kept me in the game, kept me, relating with business, and also still producing shows back to back.
Yeah. Okay, quickly, I would just like to know, what do you do to keep your skill? I'll call it a skill now. What do you do? There must be things you do probably weekly, monthly, biannually to keep, it tip-top sharp.
I'm constantly learning. I'm constantly learning from everybody. I'm constantly learning. Like I'm sitting on your set looking like, oh, that works, that's nice. This, oh, I like that, that's good. That's nicely African. I need to have something like that on my show. I'm constantly learning from everybody. So when I see people on TV, I'm not just enjoying a show, whether it's internationally or locally. I'm looking and saying, oh, what do I like about what this person is doing now? I should learn to be more like this. Or what do I hate about what this person is doing now? Or I should learn to never do this. How do I feel about what this person is doing now? Or I would hate for my guests to feel that way, so I've got to be careful not to do this when I have a show. So I'm constantly learning. And then I take feedback. Like when the critics and the haters come to social media, I listen to the things they have to say. I look for constructive criticism. I mean, there are always those people who are like, hey, you have nothing to say. The people who have just been broken up with, their rent is due, they don't know where they're going to pay it from, and they're looking for somebody to hate. I don't listen to those ones, but the ones who come out with constructive criticism. Oh, I didn't really like this thing you said, or this thing, I wish you would do it like this instead, or this angle on your show, I wish you would tweak this. I would listen to it and wait and see what I can get from it. So I just stay hungry. Hunger isn't a state of lack. It's a state of mind, where you're willing to take in more, right? So I stay hungry. I'm constantly learning.
Amazing. Thank you. IK, honestly, it's been mind-blowing chatting with you. I read through your story over and over again. I'm like, oh, wow. And honestly, between you and I, all I see and all I expect right now is your radio station.
Hey.
This generation, they like to say, hey, was that yes or no?
Well, about that, let's just see how things go. Let's just see.
I'm looking forward to it, and I know the whole of Nigeria is waiting. Yeah, we'll wait till you're ready.
Watch this space.
Oh, you heard it here first. Yeah. Thank you so much. It's been great chatting with you. We have learned a lot.